Princess called me to talk about the video that I did about a week and a half ago. We've got a hurricane and what is going on with transfers. We've got a lot to talk about today. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Tuesday. It's September 20th of 2022. And as I said in my little intro there, we have a lot to talk about today. And I want to start with the opportunity that I had to speak with someone from Princess. So if you missed it, about a week and a half ago, I did a video that just said, Princess, are you listening? And where I talked about a few things that I thought were very important for them to know about what is going on their ships right now. And so let me tell you what they had to say as I spoke. I spoke with a very, very nice lady. She does a really good job, I think, at her job. And it was just a pleasure to speak with her. She emailed me last Thursday, and we set up a time to talk yesterday and had a nice video call to talk about things. So first of all, let me tell you the things that kind of in order that I spoke about them in the video that I did. And if you've missed that video, I'll have Gordon link it below so that you can see it. Now, I want to start off by saying that I still love Princess. I still love Princess. These are not deal breaker things for me. I think over time, as I try other cruise lines and as we go forward, it'll be interesting to see how things change and maybe what I think. But for now, I am not moving away from Princess, okay? So first of all, I wanted to let you know we talked about the internet. So the internet, Princess has long touted, as I said, that they have the fastest internet at sea, and they no longer do. And in fact, their internet has gotten worse since the restart. And so as we visited about that, she said that she feels like they need to manage expectations better and let people know that in some parts of the world, you're not going to have quite as good of internet as in other parts of the world. So it sounds like there is nothing on Princess's horizon like right now to improve their internet. That is what she said. Now, I would argue that everywhere their internet is much slower, and I can vouch to that by personal experience. And so I just wanted to let you know where we stand with the internet. Another thing that we talked about, we did not really talk about excursions. I mentioned that in the video, and I linked it a lot with customer service. Now, when it comes to their customer service, they have outsourced a lot of their customer service, and I think that's where a lot of the problems lie. We will see in the long run if they're able to get that back all in-house so that their people can be more well-trained. And so I stick with what I said before, that if you call and you get someone that clearly doesn't know what they're doing, just say thank you, goodbye, hang up, and call back again, because Princess really does still have an awful lot of amazing customer service reps who really do know their job really well. They do an outstanding job. And so if you get someone that isn't, just say, thank them for their time and call back again. Okay, that's the best that I've got for you right now. So wanted to let you know about that. We also talked about food. She mentioned that they do have a brand new vice president over food and beverage. So we will see moving forward. She said that they do like to think that they have really good food. And I would honestly say that this does vary a little bit by cruise ship. Some people I am hearing back that they've got amazing food on their cruise. I hear from a lot of people, and my personal experience is the food is not as good. It seems to even have changed a lot since we went on our very first cruise. Clear back, it was when we went to Alaska in August of 2021, and it was like Princess's third cruise since the restart, and the food since then has gotten a little bit worse. I honestly do think that they are cutting corners on that, but it will be interesting to see moving forward. I know that as far as food goes, I have an interesting comparison just because I have sisters that also really enjoy going on cruises, and one of them has been on Princess a couple of times already this year, and she has another cruise booked in October with Princess, and then my other sister just went on the Norwegian Encore to Alaska. So it's interesting to me to compare notes with both of them that Norwegian has had the better food so far this year. My sister's experience on the Norwegian Encore was much better than the food experience with my sister, who was on the Island Princess to the Baltics in end of June into July, and then she was on the British Isles cruise. And so I know that those are in different regions of the world, but at the same time, it should not vary as much as it does. And so I would say that if you are a foodie and you are looking for superb cuisine, at this point in time, Princess isn't the line for you. But you know what? Things can change, and I think that is really, really important. It's going to be really interesting to watch the trend over time and see if things get better, if they stay the same. But you know what? I also want to point out that there is a give and take with everything. My sister that was on the Norwegian Encore said that the food was superb, but the overall cruise experience, they do enjoy better on Princess. And so honestly, there is a give and take there, and you have to decide what you want to give and what you want to take. And so I'm just putting that out there. And like I said, things are always changing. Things are always in motion with all of the cruise lines. And I think one of the amazing things about what I'm trying to do with this channel here is so that all of you can share your travel experiences, your tips, your tricks, everything that really makes it easier for everyone else to travel. But also it helps us to know what to expect a little bit and what's going on board so that we can make decisions. Now, I clearly have booked that inaugural cruise on the Sun Princess. She doesn't sail until February 8th of 2024, so I have great confidence that things are going to improve at Princess. If they don't by then, it's really nice. You can cancel any cruise up until you make final payment and get your money back. And so keep that in mind as you plan things. You can always rearrange, but at the same time, I really do enjoy the overall experience on Princess. And so if their food is not as superb as I would hope, I would probably still keep going on them. So that is what's going on with food, and I'm really anxious to hear from all of you what you experience. Now, the other thing that I spoke with them about was the perks that elite people get. And in my video, I very specifically mentioned how they took away those minutes. That did not cost them anything, and they took those minutes away. I think that is another cost-saving measure, clearly, because instead they want you to buy the internet package. Now, elite people can get the internet package for half price, so that is a good perk, but I also think there's a lot of people that don't want the internet package. They don't use it enough to really pay for it, and they don't use it enough. They just wanted a few minutes here and there, but she said they no longer can do that. So that is not going to be coming back. And so hopefully we'll just see how things go moving forward. That was just the basic thing in all of the basic tenets of my phone call. Like I said, she was very nice to talk to, but I wouldn't look for too much change rolling forward. Now, the next thing that I want to talk to you about, we have two other huge things to talk about. And number one is the hurricane, and number two is I don't know what's going on with transfers with Princess, and I want to hear about transfers from the other cruise lines. So those of you who are doing that, absolutely let us know. So first of all, that Hurricane Fiona, as if you've probably been watching in the news, is having a huge impact on the whole Caribbean area there and everything going on. The people there in Puerto Rico still don't have power. I looked this morning. I would say keep everyone in that region in your prayers, because they're going to need our prayers. But also, it is impacting a lot of cruises. And so I've got a list here of the cruises that right now are scheduled to be impacted and what the change will be. But I also want all of you who will be cruising in that region, whether you're on the cruise ship right now or you're going to be getting on this week, to let us know what other communication you receive from the cruise lines, to let us know of any changes, as well as just what everything is like on board. That will really help us. And I think it will also help a lot of people know what to expect if they book a cruise and a hurricane does come up. I think that the first important thing to remind everyone is that the cruise lines are really careful. They take good care. They don't want anything to happen to their ship. They don't want anything to happen to their crew or to their passengers. And so they go out of their way to keep things safe. So you don't have to worry that they're just going to go where they're going to go in spite of what's going on with the weather. They're not. They will make changes as needed. So let me tell you here the itineraries so far that I know that are affected. So first of all, we've got the Allure of the Seas, and yesterday she was supposed to call in Labadee, and now yesterday she just had a sea day instead. Today was going to be a sea day, and they are going to Curacao instead. If I said that wrong, forgive me. Now the Celebrity Equinox yesterday was supposed to be in Grand Cayman, and they went to Key West instead. The Disney Fantasy was having a day at sea yesterday, and instead they called in Cozumel. The MSC Seashore on September 18th. That sea day was replaced with a day at Ocean Key, with the ship departing the private island at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And then yesterday they were supposed to be in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and that was replaced with a day at sea. And then for today, September 20th, the San Juan call is replaced with Cozumel. Finally, the Norwegian Sky today. They were supposed to call at Puerto Plata, Amber Cove, and instead they are going to be going to Costa Maya. And so it's going to be really interesting to me as we see the remnants of that storm going through to see if more itineraries are changed today, Tuesday, and then moving forward to Wednesday, because you never know like how long a storm is going to stay somewhere, or what, how long the winds are going to stay high, or the seas rough, anything like that. So like I said, let us know how things are going on the ship if you're on one of these sailings, and if you receive any other communication from the cruise lines, would love to know that as well. So the next thing that I wanted to talk to you about is this morning our Let's Go family member who, as you probably know from listening to my videos, the Enchanted Princess did a transatlantic, came into New York, and then she was boarding the Enchanted Princess to sail out of New York. Here's the glitch though. So they had scheduled the Princess Transfer to take them from LaGuardia down to the port. If you're not familiar with Princess Transfers, I believe that all the cruise lines have them. You can schedule, what you do is you can schedule in advance, and then what you do is you go to the airport there, or you either fly in or go back from your airport to from your hotel back to the airport there, and then they have buses that they take you down to the port. It's a great way to do it. It is usually pretty affordable compared to how much it costs to take an Uber or a taxi. And in a lot of ports, it's really handy because sometimes it's quite a distance. Well, yesterday the ship was set to leave at 5 o'clock. They got to the airport there at 12:30, which was within the time parameters of when you needed to be there to take the transfer. And she said when they got there, there were about 100 people waiting. And she said that as the hours went by, though, they waited for the Princess people kept saying, yeah, the buses are coming, the buses are coming. And at 3:30, they said the buses, clearly, they're not going to come. And so at that point, everybody had to scramble and get their own transportation to the port, if you can believe it. So, of course, everybody's trying to get an Uber. Everybody's trying to get a taxi to get down to the port. So, like I said, the ship was supposed to sail at 5, and she got to the port at 4:30. So, here's what I'm thinking. A few things, and I want to hear what you all think. And, before COVID, like Gordon and I have used Princess Transfers on almost every cruise we've been on. We find it really handy, very just a really smooth way to get to the ship. But a couple of takeaways from this. Since COVID has restarted, and just in the last month or so, I've heard several people say that their transfers didn't come like they were supposed to, and then everybody's hurrying to get their Uber or their taxi down to the port. Now, luckily in LaGuardia, you could get there. If you are further away from the port, though, you're going to have a problem if the transfers don't show up. You've got to know in a window with enough time to be able to get down there. And so a couple of things. First of all, always have a backup. Always know, like at LaGuardia, of course you can get an Uber or a taxi. That to me is easy to get down to the port there in New York. But also, I would say let's try to tell each other a little bit more about what's going on here. If I was going to go, and if we keep hearing of problems like this, I won't plan on Princess Transfers anymore. I will just always figure out a way. Like in Rome, we took the Princess Transfer this time. They've got taxis that you can even take from the center of Rome or from the airport, a flat rate to get down to the port. And so I'll probably start doing things like that. Another thing that you can always do is you can book book a car service in advance. So if you're somewhere and you just want them to pick you up at your hotel, take you down to the port in New York or wherever it is, you can do that. So if we keep on hearing of glitches like this, then we're not going to be able to rely on them anymore. So I would like to know what's going on with Princess transfers, as well as those of you who are sailing on other cruise lines. Please let us know. If things go smoothly, let us know. If they don't go smoothly, let us know as well, because that will really help inform all of us. And so I was really sad to hear this. I'm really glad that they made it to the ship okay. I would like to think that they would have waited for people that were a little late getting there, since the transfers never showed up. But it's hard to know. It's hard to know how that communication went. Clearly, some communication broke down between the people who were, sell transfers. Princess always sells transfers. And then the people who are supposed to be booking the buses. Clearly, something didn't get booked, or else the buses would have been there to pick everyone up. And then one other thing, I'm just adding this in here. I wanted to let you know, our Let's Go family member that told us all about this problem with the transfers, she said that they had not received a refund for their transfer payment yet once they were on board. And so she said, I will, of course, have to work with customer service when I get home in order to get that refund. Here's the counsel I've got for you. Go down to customer service while you're on the ship and get it taken care of there, because it is going to be so much easier to get it taken care of there while you're in person with people than it is to try to work with people on customer service when you get home, especially if when you're calling in you keep getting people that can't do that. And I think that there would probably be more hoops to jump through as well once you get home and try to tell them, well, it never came. On the ship, they know it never came. And so I would definitely say get down to customer service. And that also reminds me, anything that you can get managed while you were on the cruise ship, definitely do that. Keep an eye on your stateroom charges to make sure that those are all yours. If they're not, get right down there. Once they close that out, it is really hard to get anything changed on that. If you got charged for a drink or anything, you can just give up on getting reimbursed for that once you get home. So keep a really close eye on it. And like I said, with those transfers, get right down there and ask for a refund right now. So just wanted to let you know that. So let us know how everything is going on the cruise ship that you are on, both with transfers and everything else. We really like to know, and I really am trying to broaden our horizons here. So let us know no matter what cruise ship you're going on. I am trying Norwegian soon. I'm working on getting a cruise booked on Celebrity. So we've got a lot to talk about here. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We need you with us. If you haven't come over and joined us on our Facebook group, Let's Go Travel Tips, join us there. It's an amazing group. If you appreciate these updates, please give this video a thumbs up, and I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.